now, live from the Steel Twins recording studio in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan, it's your boys, your hosts, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins. What's up, everybody? It's Monday night, and you know what that means.
It's a very special episode. It's a very special episode of voice acting, and not only that, it's the sixth season, 16 premiere, baby.
That's right. Our 16th project in this big series. We thank you so much for your support over the years. Notice we don't have anything started quite yet. It's by design. So I will get the game fired up right before we hit live scene. As a matter of fact, I think I'll do it right after we hit live scene. But yeah, so we're going to try something a little bit different. If you recall, we were milling around what we were going to try for our next voice acting project, and we have decided upon Tyrion Cuthbert, attorney of the Arcane. So it's Ace Attorney meets Harry Potter, somewhat. So it's kind of a good segue into, the next, and it's an independent game. I'll go ahead and pull up the Steam thing here. The developer and the publisher of this game is Diamond Hedge Entertainment, and this game was released on June 23rd, 2 years ago today. 2 years ago today. This game was released, and the reviews were overwhelmingly positive. Recent reviews were very positive. So, I feel pretty good about our chances here. Plus, I've seen some of the gameplay. It definitely, tracks with Ace Attorney, so it's pretty similar.
If I may, a word of warning here. Even the text dialogue contains some vulgar language. So if you got kids, tell them to turn away. And just because we said that on the text, we don't really mean that. So yeah. There is some vulgar language in the dialogue there. So just a word of warning.
Are we talking about F-bombs?
More like S-bombs or BS bombs, something like that.
As long as, well, we'll be again. Viewer discretion is advised. So, with that in mind, I think let's go ahead and plug the other channels. Obviously, Andrew, what do we got going on?
Well, we got, earlier today I brought you Nostalgic Monday, GoldenEye 007. Go ahead and check that out if you wish. I want to try and bring you The Legend of Zelda Tuesday. I have not brought that to you in a couple of weeks due to my, schedule of late flights. Hopefully I'll bring that to you tomorrow as I continue Skyward Sword. Or maybe I'll go old school, like Link to the Past. Who knows? I'll make the decision, and I'll bring it up to you on Facebook, on the Facebook page. Wednesday, and I think we may very well do Wednesday night fights. Maybe we'll do a little more voice acting, but I don't know. Maybe we might not stream at all because, again, I'm working late. Sorry, guys.
It's kind of rough at the airport this time of year.
Yeah. Especially during summer, and of course Ratchet and Clank Thursday. I'll try and bring that to you, but I have been bringing you Super Mario Friday and Mario and Luigi Brothership, and coming soon to that category is the Luigi's Mansion trilogy. When I get my hands on the Nintendo Switch 2 and the exclusive Nintendo Switch Online Nintendo GameCube game will be released very soon, and if we don't get that very soon, by the time we get done with Brothership, who knows? Maybe I'll do a redux of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, the revamped version, if you will.
I would think for something that big, we would need to make that a voice acting project on the main channel. The two of, or we could make it a joint production on your channel. We could try it out.
Or maybe I'll just do a little, Super Mario Galaxy or Galaxy 2. Who knows? I'll figure it out.
Man, go ahead.
And as for Saturdays, I don't know. Maybe randoms, maybe hot off the steel press. Who knows?
Well, just all you really got to know to keep track is follow us on Facebook. That is the very best way to keep abreast of what this chaotic schedule will bring. I really think it'd be a good idea package if we also used X, formerly known as Twitter. A lot of people use it. Hey, follow us on Twitter. You'll get your updates. But so let's see. I'm just getting rid of some notifications here. So follow us on Facebook for all the updates you need. Well, I think it's just about that time for my second favorite part of the show. You know the deal by now, kids. If you have a cap to your bottle or a pin on your can, you go ahead and pull that pin back or twist that cap off.
With a twisty twist, oh yes.
Hey, package. What time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Nice clean finish.
Hit the spot.
Of course, there's the guest. Carbonation, kids. Mm-hmm. Live scene. All right. So as you can see, we've got a little motif here for our thing, but I am going to go ahead and fire this up, and I'll tell you first. Oh, here we go. Yep. There we go. We got it. It's on. Ooh, I like I like this lounge singer thing we got going on here. So let's see.
Okay.
Let's check out our settings. Text speeds normal. Text size. Do you want to do large for our people? Let's do it large.
Yeah, let's do large.
Okay. Full screen. Sure. V-sync count. No idea. Got to do the master volume. Let's turn it down just a tick.
I actually hear it.
Oh, you can hear it well? Okay.
Well, I can actually hear it. It's like but I can't see the screen from the other side. The only reason I can see this.
Hold on 1 second, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Sure, yeah, I could see it from like the computer. So let's try that now.
Yeah, I went ahead and I'm sharing it now.
Okay, I see it now, but
okay, great. Fantastic. So, all right. Okay. Oh, yeah, they even got a little thing on here. Use Discord from your overlay while playing. Dope. I'm gonna do that. So, okay. Keyboard inputs. Dialogue progress. Testimony press. Well, you probably just press the button, I guess. Left click. Submit evidence. Hide UI. Okay. Testimony present. Let's just okay. I wonder. Let me grab my controller.
oh yeah, if you could play that thing with your PlayStation controller, that would be awesome.
Well, it's going to be my Xbox controller, but it's very similar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, great. So let's see. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's just go for it. New game. So case number 1 here. The cold-hearted aristocrat. All right, let's get into it. Start the game from episode 1. Yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I'll be the narrator. The fields of battle are filled with suffering and despair. On them are a clash of souls brought to conflict by the corrupt powers that rule over them. I was transporting a client in my carriage that evening. We were driving by the McCoy Tavern when we heard a disturbance. I was worried that something was amiss, so I walked into the building to see what the commotion was. There I saw the defendant. She was lit by the blue glow of the dining room lights. And she was stabbing the victim with a magical sword.
Whoa.
Objection!
Objection.
Objection. Mr. Rudolph, you testified that you saw my client murdering the victim. And you supposedly saw her casting magic while doing so?
Yes. I could never forget such a grisly sight.
We're digging right into it, kids.
Well, that moment was burned into my memory.
I see. Well, it's funny that you say that.
How so?
Huh. Because your entire testimony was a complete lie.
What?
Objection!
Hold on a second.
Objection! Are you accusing the witness of perjury? Surely you know that such accusations can't be made lightly, Mr. Cuthbert.
My accusation is far from baseless, Steelwind. Think about the state of the crime scene at the time of the murder. The witness couldn't have seen anything, much less a homicide. He knows something.
He knows something. That's what he's thinking. But on this battlefield, there are still a few people who carry the ideals of justice within their hearts. But you have to wonder sometimes, are these ideals truly just? Or are they simply lies fed to us by our elders?
Damn it.
I think this is the aristocrat talking.
Damn it, damn it. Damn it. Flintheart, you fool. Why couldn't you have just listened to me? Rudolph, I require your assistance.
Yes, sir? Oh, by the scaled Lord, what did you... You killed him.
Alert the town guard. Tell them that you saw his daughter fleeing the scene. I'm sure their neighbors heard them arguing with each other. They'll immediately suspect her.
At once, sir.
Episode 1, The Cold-Hearted Aristocrat. Damn.
Yeah, folks, if you happen to be joining up on the stream, just give us some feedback. Can you hear us? How's the music going? How are we doing? I'm sure we're doing today. Earlier that day,
I was wondering when we were going to get to this.
you feel yourself slowly succumbing to unbearable pain.
What the heck did he do? Did he tweak his leg on the way to bed?
You don't think you'll be able to survive this much longer.
What?
Are you sure you're okay, Cuthbert? You look like you're about to pass out.
Name, Ruby
Tamora.
Tamora. Occupation, attorney. Don't worry about me, Miss Tamora. I'm fine.
You've been riding in this carriage for days. You're definitely not fine.
A bit dramatic, are we?
With each bump in the road, you feel yourself becoming more and more nauseous. It's taken every ounce of willpower just to hold down your lunch.
I'm perfectly fine.
If you say so.
You feel the carriage drive over a large bump on the road. You can feel and hear your stomach retching in protest. That stew you ate for lunch doesn't taste nearly as good as the second time.
That's rough. On second thought,
He's not gonna...
that's better.
You take a deep breath of fresh air. It's the first breath you've taken today that hasn't threatened to come back out.
Sorry about this. I didn't expect the roads in this town to be this uneven.
I suppose they don't get a lot of traffic here.
You've been on the road with your mentor for days.
Don't tell me she's gonna die in the second episode. It would track way too hard. Anyway,
Together, you've been searching for a man named Flintheart McCoy. Supposedly, he's been a voice of dissidence against King Oliver for the last few decades. You have no idea what kind of business Miss Tamora would have with him. But you know better than to ask questions about her affairs. Hello, travelers. Hello, travelers. Welcome to Cornhaven. A local merchant steps out from one of the nearby shops. He has a wide smile on his face, and he approaches your carriage with the enthusiasm of a starving vulture. Would a pair of dignified individuals such as yourselves care for a refreshing drink?
Those clothes.
Those clothes. They must be from the city.
That's him thinking. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got a happy emotion. He certainly has a friendly expression, but his thoughts seem very analytical.
Well, I don't need a drink, but...
Miss Tamora glances at you, and your stomach rumbles in agreement. Of course. I have just the thing for an upset stomach. With a carriage like that, I bet I could fleece him for a lot.
Oh, okay. So his words betray his emotions. Yeah, or his thoughts betray his outward emotions. Okay.
His thoughts and emotions are laid bare through your eye of Horus. But the merchant's expression doesn't betray a hint of what he's truly thinking. You wonder if his false smile can get any bigger. At this rate, he might dislocate his jaw. How about 2 flasks of apple juice for 50 silver pieces?
I wouldn't pay 5, dumbass. 50 silver pieces?
You may find the price daunting, but this is organic and fresh-made apple juice. It's just store-bought juice, but I bet they can't even tell the difference. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot an empty bottle of store-bought apple juice. It's resting on a table inside the merchant's shop.
Okay.
Store-bought apple juice has been added to your notes. The Cornhaven merchant has a bottle of store-bought apple juice. It's resting on a table inside his shop. It's suspiciously empty.
So Tyrion will make mental notes of notable clues he sees in the world. These notes are instrumental to solving mysteries and progressing through the game. You can check these notes at any time by opening the toolbar in the top left of the screen. Roger that, there's the hamburger menu way up there. So yeah, it's basically the court record. So that's what we're gonna call it from now on. So anyway.
Trust me, it's worth the extra gold.
He just said silver, though. Dumbass, what do you think? What do you think?
Normally, the price wouldn't matter that much to you. But you don't appreciate being treated like an easy mark.
Hell no. Screw that. Who's got time for that? Argument.
I think you'll appreciate this music.
Yeah. You've started an argument with another character. During an argument, your opponent will make claims that you need to respond to. Responding correctly will lower your opponent's confidence. Responding incorrectly will lower your confidence. And once you run out of confidence, you will lose the argument. So yeah, it's a fight. This is different.
Hold that thought for a minute. We're going to ad break in about 1 minute.
Okay, hey, that's all right. I think we'll let it run.
Okay.
I think you need to elaborate. You said that this apple juice is organic, but where is it made?
It's produced by the hard-working people of this town, of course. I only trade organic products. In a small town like ours, we only deal with locally sourced products.
Bullshit. For presenting during arguments. For certain claims, you'll need to present a piece of evidence to refute that claim. To proceed, present the piece of evidence that contradicts your opponent's claim. So we will present this evidence. It's store-bought apple juice, so...
Take that.
You say that, but I can see an empty bottle of store-bought juice inside your shop. Why would you have something like that if you only deal with organic products?
Oh, how did that get there? Make no mistake. I only have that because I wanted to see how my products compare to that of the city. And let me tell you, that mass-produced slop doesn't even compare to my product. What an obvious lie. This juice is worth far more than what I'm offering. Honestly, I'm offering you a very good deal.
Interpreting during arguments. For certain claims, you will need to look at your opponent's thoughts and emotions. Choose the correct response depending on the information seen. Logic. Choose this option if your opponent's thought contradicts something in your notes. Intuition. Choose this option if your opponent's thought contradicts their claim. Empathy. Choose this option if your opponent's emotions contradict their claim. So I'm thinking, okay, this might be an intuition gimmick. So let's see. So look at this.
I usually only sell this stuff for 5 silver pieces a flask.
Yep. Sir, it's obvious these flasks are only worth 5 silver pieces.
What? How did you... well, it's clear you're a very shrewd man.
Right. Argument 1. That was quick. So the child, I'm so thirsty.
I'm so thirsty. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot a child watching you from afar. Her eyes are fixed on the flasks of apple juice.
How about 20 silver pieces for 3 flasks?
Of course, sir. The kingdom of Wyverngarde, established several centuries ago by the 7 high archmages. The kingdom is currently ruled by King Oliver de Wyverngarde and the mages of his nobility.
Hey, it kind of reminds me of Oblivion if you sit there and think about it. So anyway, here we go.
The nobility will tell you that our marvelous kingdom is a land of prosperity and happiness. A land where its people share the wealth and succor provided by the kingdom's magic. Thank you. I haven't had anything like this in years. The child's passing thoughts tell you exactly how much succor the kingdom is sharing.
Yeah, no kidding.
I didn't know you had such an eye for rural economics.
Well, I suppose I just have a good intuition for this sort of thing.
Or did you use another kind of eye? Don't get me wrong. Your so-called Eye of Horus is an amazing gift. You should take every opportunity to hone it. But try to be more subtle next time. If I can see through you, others will be able to as well.
Right.
Anyways, I did some asking around while you were hagging. Supposedly, the McCoy Tavern should be north of here. If my tip is correct, this should be the place.
Wait, this is the McCoy Tavern?
With the state it's in, calling it a tavern is being pretty generous. You find it hard to believe that this is a secret meeting place for dissidents. But now that you think about it, maybe that's the entire point.
The tavern has been shut down for years. Nowadays, Flintheart just uses it to host his rallies. Although, I do wonder how they've been keeping themselves afloat for this long.
Oi, you lot. Okay, fine.
You can have them.
Okay. Hey, you lot, the McCoy Tavern is closed.
A gruff man approaches your carriage as you step out of it. He's eyeing you and Miss Tamora, a clear look of contempt on his face.
I take it that you're Flintheart McCoy?
I am. What of it? Occupation unemployed. Name Flintheart McCoy.
Sorry for not writing ahead of time. But I'm Ruby Tamora. I wanted to speak with you.
Ruby Tamora? Wait, the Ruby Tamora?
Any animosity he initially had immediately vanishes. He lets out a laugh, as if you were meeting an old friend.
Why didn't you say so? Come on in.
You didn't expect someone like him to know about Miss Tamora. But you suppose it makes sense. They both fight against the same enemy. Albeit in different ways.
Sorry about the mess. We haven't exactly been... Well, anyways, what brings you here? I'll tell you didn't journey all this way to see my wrecked heaven.
I'm here on behalf of a client. We have a proposition that you might be interested in. Is there any way we could talk more privately?
Sure. The kitchen is empty.
Wonderful. Tyrion, stay here while I speak with McCoy.
What? Don't you need my help?
There's no need for that.
Like hell, there's no need for that. If she's trying to make a deal with Flintheart, you can easily read his thoughts to help her.
Okay, I'm making an executive decision. With the narration, I'm gonna use the cave voice. So, going forward.
You just really want to...
Okay. I desperately want to object, but she's shooting me a stern look that causes me... Never mind. Go to the original plan.
You desperately want to object, but she shoots you a stern look that causes you to freeze up. You slowly look away from her. You spend some time waiting alone in the tavern's dining area. It's already been hours since Miss Tamora and Flintheart went to talk in the kitchen.
Damn.
You can hear faint murmurs from behind the closed door, and you've been resisting the urge to eavesdrop. But even from here, you can tell that their conversation is slowly becoming more frustrated.
Uh-oh. Huh. It looks like they're going to be a while. Huh.
Well, it's a good thing you always bring a chess set around. You bring out the small chessboard that you've carried around since you were a child. Chess can be played with one person, and you've always taken advantage of that.
Checkmate.
You went against yourself. This time as black.
I've played 10 games already, and I've won 7 out of 10 times as black.
You get hurt.
Okay.
And
Hello?
Statistically, white is more likely to win.
unbeknownst to you, you're thinking out loud.
So why am I performing so much better when playing as black?
Hello?
You still don't notice her, and you're verbalizing your thoughts just as fast as you're thinking them.
Abby Alvarez said... Go ahead.
Yeah, Albie Alvarez, thank you for joining the team. I can't stay long, but I hope you guys had fun. Hey, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yes, any kind of support is very much appreciated, my man.
Am I becoming overconfident as white because it has a first move advantage? Or perhaps that very advantage is affecting my choices and making me play in a suboptimal manner? If a personal quirk is making me play illogically, then I need to correct it.
Hey!
What? How long have you been standing there?
It's about time you noticed me. I've been trying to get your attention for a while now.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know where my dad is?
Your dad?
Flintheart McCoy. I'm his daughter, Celeste.
You've identified a new person. Celeste McCoy. Occupation? Mercenary. Oh, interesting. Oh, Flintheart is speaking with my mentor right now. He almost let that slip.
Oh, I wanted to show him something. Do you know when they'll be done?
I don't know. They've been speaking in the kitchen for a while now.
You hear Flintheart and Miss Tamora's voice is getting louder and more frustrated, but Celeste doesn't seem to notice. Here, her eyes seem to be focused on your chessboard.
This is chess, right? Are you playing against someone?
Oh, I'm playing against myself, actually.
Hold that thought for a second. Let's take a commercial break. I hear some rain coming from the windows here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue this shindig.
Okay. Okay, Okay, so we're back into this, and we're gonna let the game play in the background. But we've got a brief update for you. Package, what do we got here?
Yeah, looks like we got thunderstorms in the area. Rain possible around 10:15 p.m. Severe storm risk, though. There is a possible risk of severe weather tonight. Wind and hail are possible, but wind is the greatest threat.
Okay, well,
which is kind of why I raced around to close the windows.
All right, because we kind of don't want that water coming into the house. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And I'm definitely going to be watching behind me, because I'm going to probably notice the water start to leak in. If I certainly hope not. So anyway, so
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Okay,
we're ready. Let's go.
Let's get back to live scene. So I will focus back in. Ah, crap. Let's keep going.
You feel a judgmental stare.
Playing alone helps me develop new strategies. Plenty of professionals do it.
Hey, I'm not the type to shame a man for playing with himself.
Phrasing! That's...
Relax, I'm just joking. Anyways, if you're still waiting for your mentor, do you want to play a game?
Oh, you know how to play?
Sure. I've read about this before.
She's read about it?
This table is so dusty.
Celeste takes a seat on the other side of the table. She tries to set up her side of the board, but fumbles with the pieces. She stares at one of them, confused.
How do I arrange these things again?
A part of you regrets accepting her challenge, but it would be impolite to back out now.
Here, I'll arrange them for you.
Thanks.
Ha! Checkmate.
You defeat her in 2 moves.
Damn, that's quick.
Wait, what? Already? How did you do that?
You decide against telling her what the name of that mate was.
Rematch me. I want a do-over.
Sure, why not?
It's not as if you have anything better to do. Celeste's brow furrows as she tries to decide on her next move. But she hasn't realized that the game is already finished.
Here.
She moves her knight into a position to attack your queen. It should have stopped your assault on her king, but...
Checkmate.
Oops,
Checkmate.
a scholar's mate this time.
What? Come on, how do you keep doing that?
You look at the closed door to the kitchen. Flintheart and Ms. Tamora's discussion is becoming louder.
Again? What the hell's going on back there? Anyway,
Beats me. It doesn't sound like they'll be done anytime soon.
Again, I'll definitely beat you this time.
For someone who had clearly never played before, she's quickly improving with each game. It's impressive. She's observing your strategies and adapting them to her playstyle. With the way she's playing now, she could even defeat a nationally ranked noble.
checkmate.
But even so, you've been playing this game for a lot longer than she has.
How are you always one step ahead of me? It's like you're reading my mind.
As if you'd even need to.
Just one more game. I'll get you this time. Hello, Cuthbert.
Miss Tamora emerges from the kitchen with Flintheart. They both look mentally exhausted. It looks like negotiations didn't go well.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, hello, sweetie.
Flintheart looks irritated, but as soon as he sees Celeste, he quickly hides behind a smile. I wonder what their discussion was about.
What's this? Some kind of game?
Miss Tamora glances at pieces on the board.
Don't feel too bad about losing to him. He's nationally ranked. Oh, you're a professional. Is that why you're wearing a suit?
No, chess is just a hobby. I'm actually a defense attorney.
An attorney? Speaking of which, we should probably be on our way.
Aye. Sorry for refusing you after you came all this way. I really respect what you're doing. I don't want anything to do with your mage friends. Oh, she's sad about that.
You wonder what he meant by that. Was Miss Tamora trying to introduce him to one of our clients?
Anyways, it is getting late. If you leave now, you won't get back to the city until morning.
She's right. This region is littered with bandits and brigands. You wouldn't want to run into them this late.
Guess you have a point.
We have plenty of empty rooms that you can stay in till morning. It's the least I can do if you came off this way.
Well, if it's not too much trouble, we might as well stay here until tomorrow. The tavern is shut down, but we still have some sheets and blankets. I'll go get the rooms ready.
Okay.
Celeste and Flintheart leave the dining area to get your rooms ready. You're left in the dining room with Miss Tamora.
So, I take it the negotiations didn't go well?
No, I didn't expect him to be so stubborn. Honestly, I have no idea what that man has against mages.
Well, there is one way to find out. Why are you being so secretive? If your business with Flintheart is related to our clients, I can help.
It wasn't important, and your presence was not necessary.
That's such an obvious lie, but you can't read a single thought from her mind. She's had years of practice hiding her thoughts from the eye of Horus. Celeste enthusiastically came back downstairs. But she seems to have noticed the tension between you and Miss Tamora. You smell anything?
I'm smelling...
Not yet.
Not quite yet.
Sorry to interrupt, but your rooms are ready now. Right.
Thank you.
An awkward silence hangs in the air as you and Miss Tamora head upstairs. You reach the upper hallway and see the 2 rooms that Celeste prepared for you. Miss Tamora stops before entering her room.
You were playing chess with Flintheart's daughter earlier. Was she any good?
Not at first, but she got a lot better as we kept playing.
I'm sorry for leaving you there for so long. I didn't expect our discussion to last that long.
No, it's fine. Despite everything, I enjoyed playing against her.
I see. Well, I suppose you are that age.
No, it's not like that. It's just that outside of tournaments, I never really get to play against another player. And you only ever want to play shogi against me.
Because shogi is clearly superior.
It's complete anarchy is what it is. You just bring fallen pieces back to life like some kind of necromancer.
It adds depth. Dropping adds a dimension of play that isn't present in chess.
You sternly look at each other. Your position's already made. After a few moments of silence, you both burst out laughing.
I'm sorry if it looks like I don't trust you. I know you're just trying to help. But there are some things about my work that I just can't tell you about yet. But one day, I'll tell you everything.
Right. I'm sorry for prying. I just want to show you I'm ready to be an attorney.
You are. I know you are.
The rare praise from your mentor catches you off guard.
Anyways, get some rest. You should mentally prepare yourself for the journey tomorrow.
Right.
You completely forgot about the carriage ride back. You can already feel your stomach churning in protest.
Oh, boy.
You lay in the bed that the McCoys prepared for you. And as you close your eyes, you slowly drift into a deep slumber. As this happens, you feel something invasive.
Phrasing? Oh.
Your mind drifts away, and you feel yourself being pulled elsewhere. You find yourself in a surreal and unsettling landscape.
Oh, shit.
You're fairly certain that you're dreaming right now. But some instinct in the back of your mind tells you that something is fundamentally wrong about this.
Oh. Uh-oh. Listen.
You see a woman in the far distance. She's staring directly at you.
What? Presents?
She's murmuring something, but you can't quite make it out. Is she trying to say something to you?
Finally found. I finally found you, Heavenborn.
You're jolted wide awake.
Damn.
You can't exactly remember what that woman said to you. But whatever her words were, they sent a piercing chill down your spine. Maddie! Thank you for dropping by.
Thanks, Maddie.
Your breath is heavy and your heart is beating at 100 miles per hour.
Calm down. It was just a dream.
At least, that's what you try to tell yourself.
Please, just let me explain.
I don't want to hear it.
You hear the voices of Celeste and Flintheart ring out from downstairs. It must be extremely late. What could they possibly be arguing about at this hour?
I want you out of my house. Out!
A dead silence lingers in the air before you hear someone rush out of the tavern.
Oh, shit.
Whoever left slams the door behind them.
What was that all about?
It's none of your business. You only met those two today.
Sometimes curiosity might be a good thing. Who knows?
It'd probably be best not to get involved in their affairs. And as you tell yourself that, a brief image of Celeste's smile appears in your mind.
Damn it.
You slowly make your way out of your room.
It's more like, damn it. Anyway.
But the hallway is nearly pitch black. You can barely see a few inches ahead of you. You have to watch your step to avoid tripping. You run into Flintheart, who was slowly walking up the stairs. Even this close, it's hard to see his expression in the darkness.
Sorry, I just heard... Right. I forgot you to,
His words trail off.
Is everything okay? Oh, so she got sad and, like, worried. Sorry, I'm just going to...
You awkwardly shimmy past Flintheart to head down the stairs. He doesn't move out of your way. It's clear his mind is elsewhere. You arrive at the dining room, but you don't see Celeste anywhere. Honestly, though, it's hard to tell with how dark the room is.
Celeste? Celeste? Are you still here?
You don't receive an answer. You remember hearing someone slam the front door earlier. Your eyes are drawn to the tavern entrance.
Celeste?
No answer.
Celeste? Where are you?
Ugh. The merchant you spoke with before steps out from his shop holding a lantern. He appears to be irritated by all the noise you've been making. Oh, you're that kid from before. Do you have any idea what time it is? This isn't a city. You can't just make a bunch of noise like this.
Right. Sorry. I was just looking for Celeste.
Who?
Celeste McCoy. She's Flintheart's daughter.
The merchant's expression becomes a little colder.
Do you know them?
What do you want with that bastard? That damn mage.
Oh. What?
Those two probably woke up off the street with all their yelling. I don't need you keeping us up, too. If I hear any more noise, I'm going to call the town guard. Before you can get a word in, the merchant walks back into his home in a huff. You look around, but you still don't see any sign of Celeste. You decide to continue searching.
Jeez. I can't believe I said those things to her. She'll never forgive me for this. I see your temper's as short as ever, Flintheart. You? Honestly, how do you live in this darkness? Luxo. What are you doing here? And how dare you bring that witchcraft into my home? You've been busy lately. Your little rallies have gained quite a lot of support. Too much support for my family's liking. And what? You came all this way to convince me to stop? You have my word. If you stop spreading dissidence, no harm will come to you or your family. Ha! Your word is as good as the dirt you lick off King Oliver's boots. As if I'd ever trust the words of a murderer like you. Flintheart, please. As someone you once called a friend, I'm only going to ask you one time. Friend? Friend? I'll be dead in the ground before I ever call the likes of you a friend. Get out of my house. I don't have time for your nonsense. Unfortunately, I don't think you'll have much time for anything. Oh? Gah! Damn it. Flintheart, you fool. Why couldn't you have just listened to me? Rudolph, I require your assistance.
Yes, sir. Oh, this guy, Lord, what did you... You killed him.
Alert the town guard. Tell him that you saw his daughter fleeing the scene. I'm sure their neighbors heard them arguing with each other. They'll immediately suspect her.
At once, sir. You've been searching for Celeste for a while. How long have you been outside? 2 hours? 3? However long it's been, it's clearly taken a toll on you. Where is she?
What am I going to do now?
Yeah, she's sad. You hear a faint voice. Could it be?
Oh,
As you peer behind an old tree, you finally find her. She looks just as tired as you are, probably even more so. Her eyes are puffy and red, but she's doing her best to hide it with a smile.
I've been looking all over for you.
oh, sorry. I'm guessing we woke you up?
Yeah. Is everything okay?
It's nothing. It was just an argument.
From the way she reacted, this is clearly not common. You suppose that it's none of your business. You decide not to pry further.
Have you been looking for me all this time?
I have.
Thank you. But I'm okay now. You should head back.
What about you?
I think I'm going to stay out a little longer.
You know that you should mind your own business, but
I'm sure whatever's happened between you two, it's nothing you can't talk out. It doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes Ms. Tamora and I get into fights too. But no matter what happens, we were always able to talk through it. Sorry, I know it's none of my business, but I just...
No, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow, our emotions are all over the place. Jeez.
You're right. Let's go back.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. What?
you arrive back at the McCoy Tavern. But it's now surrounded by several carriages and knights clad in plate armor.
Is that the Inquisition?
What?
The Arcane Inquisition. They're an order of knights that investigate crimes committed using magic.
As you say the word crimes, you and Celeste share a glance and come to the same realization. Both of you rush towards the tavern, but Celeste outpaces you by a large margin.
What? No! No!
She reaches the tavern before you, and before anyone can stop her, she takes a look inside the inn. Whatever she saw makes her cry out in anguish. She drops to the ground in tears. There she is. Celeste McCoy, by the authority of the Wyverngarde crown, I'm placing you under arrest. Upon seeing Celeste, one of the knights steps forward and grabs her. Surprisingly, she's able to break free from his grip and tries to push further into the tavern. Noticing the commotion, 3 other knights rush to grab her and begin dragging her away. She kicks and screams against them, desperately trying to break free. Even between the 3 knights, it's taken all of their strength to subdue her.
What are you doing to her? What is going on here?
Tyrion.
Miss Tamora approaches you. You breathe a small sigh of relief when you see that she's okay.
Ms. Tamora?
I should have known that he was one of yours. Just stay out of our way.
Ms. Tamora, what's going on? Why is the Inquisition here?
I'm surprised myself. But from what I understand, Flintheart McCoy has been murdered.
Murdered? Would you like to save your progress? Yes, we would. We're going to save because you never know.
Well, this is getting good, but we got about an ad break in about 35 seconds here. So why don't we go ahead and take our we're going to take our time, then we're going to take a commercial break of our own. So let's have a little. Let's wait for a little bit. What do we talk about? Little things like in fact, I got a question, Cannonball. You got a question?
Yeah, I got a question. You got a question?
Yeah, I go something like this.
What the heck is going on here? I mean, holy shit. I mean, now, granted, what the heck is that guy, obviously we saw how it happened, and obviously we saw who did it. But, man, there's got to be much more to this story, and that poor bastard, jeez. But, and that slime ball, obviously, he's clearly done something, but what's the story behind it, and how are we gonna get that bastard on the stand? So anyway,
yeah. So how much? Yeah. Okay. So
I don't see how we've got onto an ad, so we might get on one as we get back from break, but you don't want ads? Subscribe to the channel. So in this case, we go back to live scene. So, okay, let us continue.
all right, here we go. You follow the Inquisition back to the city where Celeste is being detained. According to Miss Tamora, Celeste was the prime suspect in Flintheart's murder. And due to the supposed nature of the crime, her case will be pushed to trial immediately.
Jesus, that quick?
But many elements of the situation still don't make sense. The Inquisition only investigates crimes committed using magic. So why is Celeste their prime suspect?
Unless she's a mage.
Could she be a mage?
This is ridiculous. She has a right to speak to an attorney.
Anyways, you find yourself met with another hurdle, a very frustrating one. Yeah, well, we can't let you see her until she's been processed.
Her trial is in an hour. How has she not been processed yet?
I don't know what to tell you, kid. I wish I could help. You don't need to use the eye to know that's a complete lie.
So, you're really planning on defending her? Do you know if she can even afford a lawyer?
I just can't stand here and do nothing. You saw them, didn't you? There's no way she would murder her father like that.
I know that look. I was saving this for a special occasion, but...
Oh! Attorney's runestone has been added to the court record. A magical runestone that allows you to take pictures of crime scenes and write notes telepathically. Every attorney has one. It's almost like a badge for them. Oh, that's sweet.
Nice.
This is an attorney's runestone?
If you're going to defend her, you're going to need one.
You begin to tear up. You've wanted one of these ever since you were a child. It's basically a badge of honor for attorneys.
Don't cry, Cuthbert.
Sorry.
Anyways, keep one thing in mind. If you try to defend her, the Inquisition isn't going to fight you fairly. Our court system only exists to create the illusion of justice. They hate people like us, and they'll do everything in their power to sabotage you.
Damn it. You knew that they tried to get in your way, but you didn't expect them to do it this blatantly. What's with all this noise?
You're that knight from the tavern.
That's Commander Orem White to you, kid.
Name, Orm White. Occupation, knight.
I had a feeling Tamora would be sniffing around this case. But I didn't expect her to send a kid to do her dirty work. Commander, he says that he wants to talk to the mage. And? She's got a right to an attorney, doesn't she? Well, she hasn't been processed. Commander White looks confused for a moment. The hell kind of bullshit are you trying to pull? Let him through, you idiot. Yes, sir.
That's
Swear to
great.
God. Swear to God, that's what the text said. Swear to God.
That's okay. That's fine.
The knight leads you through the halls of the dungeon. For something built in the capital, it looks extremely old and decrepit. You pick up the negative emotions of the prisoners nearby. It's a heavy and almost crushing feeling. You've always had to avoid crowded places because of how sensitive you are to people's thoughts.
Ah, so he's kind of like Athena. Anyway.
Yeah, kind of like that. You've never felt this much concentrated despair before.
Oh, it's you.
Celeste is lying down on the cold floor of one of the dungeon cells. But she immediately gets up as soon as she sees you.
What are you doing here?
Miss Tamora told me about what happened to your father. I'm so sorry.
I just don't understand. I don't understand any of this. Why would someone do this? And why are they blaming me for it?
I'm not sure about the details, but it's clear that there were elements of magic involved in what happened. Since they arrested you based on that evidence, I can only conclude one thing. Celeste, you're a mage, aren't you?
There's no sense in hiding it anymore. Yes, I am.
Do you have noble blood?
Of course not. Why would you say that?
Sorry, but the ability to use magic is hereditary. Most mages tend to have some kind of noble blood.
I honestly don't like thinking about that. I'm the daughter of Jolene and Flynnhart McCoy. That's all I need to know about myself.
It would probably be best not to push the matter further.
Indeed. I mean, I'm kind of surprised she copped to it in the first place. So, if it's noble blood she's worried about, maybe Flynnhart wasn't the father?
Well,
I don't know.
Prove that, though.
Gotta prove it. Well, I mean,
it's gonna be a while.
Anyway. Anyways, you were probably arrested because you're a mage.
What?
A crime was committed using magic, and you were the only mage around at the time.
It's not seriously the only reason. I only know how to cast one spell.
The Arcane Inquisition doesn't care about the truth. They only care about closing their cases.
Oh,
Celeste, your case is being pushed to trial. You're going to be brought before a judge within the hour.
what? No one told me anything.
Damn it! They weren't even planning on telling her.
If you'll have me, I'd like to be your defense counsel for the trial.
Right, I forgot that you're an attorney. Would you really do that for me?
After everything I've seen them do, I can't just stand by and do nothing.
But they're a part of the kingdom. Do we even have a chance? Ugh, it's hopeless.
Celeste, man, king, or god, I won't let them do anything to you.
What?
Sorry, it's just something I have a habit of saying.
No, don't apologize. I really appreciate you doing this.
It's clear this entire situation is bittersweet for her. And because of the Inquisition's delays, you haven't had any time to investigate the crime scene. You were confident before, but you begin to doubt whether or not you can really do this.
Come on, buddy. You know the first tenet of lawyering. Always believe in your client to the bitter end.
Damn right, son.
Everything is happening so fast. It feels unreal.
No, you have to do this. This is the exact reason why you became a lawyer.
Sound familiar?
No matter what happens, you'll acquit Celeste. Meanwhile, back at the
Courtroom. I'm in a real courtroom.
Hey, Maddie, can you hear the stream? Actually, entering the courtroom is taking a lot of wind out of your sails. You've never been here as an attorney before. You've only ever acted as Miss Tamora's assistant. The woman at the prosecutor's bench is staring at you. Miss Tamora mentioned her before you went to see Celeste. What was her name again? You think it was Arya Steelwind.
Name Arya Steelwind. Occupation prosecutor.
Guess how old she is.
I forgot. Hang on 1 second. Can I look at the court record? Profiles. 18 years old. Hey, who else was 18 years old when they were a prosecutor? That's right.
Von Tarma.
How about that shit? Okay, let's
You
keep
can
going.
feel the coldness. You can feel the coldness. Sorry. Why is she staring you down? Is she trying to intimidate you?
Okay.
Because it's working.
Court has now in session for the trial of Celeste McCoy.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is also ready, Your Honor.
He doesn't necessarily sound very ready.
Regardless, let's begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwind, please list the charges.
The defendant is Celeste McCoy, a mercenary for hire and a registered mage.
Wait, did she just say mercenary?
Yeah, I had to take up a job after my family's tavern was shut down.
Oh, right.
That's not exactly the first occupation you choose.
She's charged with second-degree murder and negligent misuse of the arcane arts.
I see. So there was magic involved.
Yes, the crime occurred within the McCoy Tavern, a local inn that shut down years ago. Locals reported hearing a loud commotion coming from within the building. Hours later, a carriage driver that was nearby checked the disturbance. It was then that he found the victim, the defendant's sword, still impaling his dead body. The Inquisitionist provided an autopsy report and a record of the sword.
Autopsy report, Flintheart McCoy. Autopsy has been added to the court record. Died after being stabbed from behind with a magical blade. Fatal wound shows heavy traces of transmutation magic.
Keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And here's Celeste's sword. Quote-unquote Celeste's sword. The alleged murder weapon. It's an ornately designed sword, but it has no magical properties. Oh.
Keep that in mind.
So. Is there blood on it? I'd like to see if okay, let me just get a look at it. What was the defendant's relationship with the victim? Let me just look at this. Can we look at it? I guess
No,
not.
I don't think so.
Son of a bitch. That would be really cool, but anyway. I see that they share the same last name.
The defendant is the victim's daughter, but not by blood. She was adopted into the family when she was an infant. Her birth parents are currently unknown.
Oh shit, that clears that up right away. Ah, I see. What an unfortunate turn of events.
To begin, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand.
This guy.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Name's Orm White. I'm commander of the Arcane Inquisition.
Orem, could you please testify about the details of the Inquisition's investigation?
Yeah. All right, time for the witness testimony. We got a call late at night. Someone discovered a dead body inside the McCoy Tavern. When we arrived on the scene, we found Flintheart McCoy dead on the floor. The defendant's sword was still inside of him. We have several witnesses who heard the victim and defendant in a loud argument before the body was discovered. Their argument must have turned ugly because the defendant killed the victim using her magic sword.
That's a contradiction.
Isn't that really incriminating? One of her possessions is a murder weapon.
Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination.
You open your mouth to respond, but nothing comes out. You can't think of anything to say. Everything is blank.
Mr. Cuthbert?
Hey, what are you doing? This is the part where you say something, right?
I'm sorry, I don't...
Your anxiety is just getting worse. Your breaths are becoming more and more desperate. Are you hyperventilating?
What a disappointment.
Ugh.
I was hoping to fight against the infamous Ruby Tamura today. But it's clear you can't even hold a candle to her. Your Honor, it's clear that the defense has nothing to say against the prosecution's overwhelming evidence.
Yep, this case is pretty open and shut.
No, wait!
This isn't what's supposed to happen.
I'm sorry, Tyrion. I couldn't acquit Frey.
Who's Frey?
She was found guilty.
I have to find that out.
What? But that means... Are they
He's age
going...
10.
Go ahead and say
He's
it
age
again.
10. He's age 10 at the time.
Oh. Are they going to execute her?
No, not again. Are you seriously going to let that happen again?
Tyrion!
Celeste grabs your shoulders and shakes you out of your panic.
You need to calm down.
Her gaze is calm and focused despite the gravity of the situation. But she looks stern, not angry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to...
Stop. Just listen to me. You know what to do, right? Just do it the same way you play chess.
What?
I don't know. You were just so calm and focused when we were playing before. No matter how close I got to beating you, you always knew how to stay calm and win. So just channel that feeling and look at the pieces.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And yet, you take a moment to focus and let everything else disappear from the world. Every statement that he made, every word that came out of his mouth, each of those is a possible weakness that you can attack. Every bleak moment can be turned around. You just need to consider every angle.
My apologies for the delay, Your Honor. The defense is ready to begin the cross-examining the witness. Very well.
There we go. Thank God that worked.
Carefully examine every statement he made and find something that contradicts the evidence in your notes. Once you do that, present the contradicting evidence and prove that his testimony is false.
Yeah, buddy. I know exactly what we're getting at.
Well, cross-examination time.
Cross-examinations. You are cross-examining a witness. Carefully examine each statement they made and find a statement that contradicts a clue, a spell, or a profile in your notes. Once you identify the false statement, click the Present button and present the contradicting evidence to move forward.
We got a call late at night. Someone discovered a dead body inside the McCoy Tavern. When we arrived on the scene, we found Flintheart McCoy dead on the floor. The defendant's sword was still inside of him. We have several witnesses who heard the victim and defendant in a loud argument before the body was discovered. Their argument must have turned ugly because the defendant killed the victim using her magic sword.
That's not true. So
Ready?
let 3, 2, 1. Take that! Objection! Commander White, you testified that the victim was killed using the defendant's magical sword. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you look at the crime scene.
I think I'd actually have to disagree with you on that. The defendant's sword couldn't possibly been the murder weapon.
What are you talking about, kid? The sword was inside his body. Of course that's what killed him.
That may be the case, but take a look at the autopsy report. It states that the fatal wound had heavy traces of magic. So how would a non-magical sword leave traces of magic on the body?
What?
To leave a trace like that, the wound would have had to be created with something magical. My client's sword may look fancy and expensive, but it is entirely mundane.
That doesn't make a lick of sense. The sword didn't kill him, then why was it in the body?
Yes, I find that quite strange as well. Well, there's only one reasonable explanation, Your Honor. The wound was created magically, and someone shoved the sword into the wound afterward.
The hell are you talking about? The defendant is a damned mage. She could have easily killed the victim using magic.
That may be, Commander, but why would she kill the victim using magic and then stab him with her sword? She would just be incriminating herself. No, if anything, this series of events proves one thing. Someone used magic to kill the victim, and then they pushed my client's sword into the wound to frame her.
Objection!
Objection! Don't get ahead of yourself.
What?
Your Honor, the defense is trying to spin the facts in his favor. He claims that a third party committed the crime and used the sword to frame the defendant. But wouldn't the simpler explanation be this? Magic was being channeled through the sword at the time of death. That is what left the magical trace on the body.
Well, we can take a quick look at this. Okay, autopsy report, died after being stabbed. Okay, spells. There's nothing there. Never mind. All right, here we go.
Commander, please tell the defense how the murder was committed using magic.
What? All right. I think I see where you're going with this. All right, time for a little witness testimony. It's true that the sword itself isn't magical, but magic can still be channeled through it. That defendant over there, her spell compendium has a spell called Mage Blade.
But what was the one spell she knew how to cast? We need to ask her that. Anyway.
She must have used it on her sword before stabbing the victim. That spell is the reason why there were traces of transmutation magic on the wound. So her spell compendium contains a spell called Mage Blade.
According to the prosecution, at least.
The spell compendium is a magical device that lists every spell a mage can cast. Luckily, Celeste's compendium only contains one spell. That means she can only cast that one spell.
Celeste, do you have your spell compendium with you?
No, I left it at the tavern after... Well, you know.
If you can't look at the description for Mage Blade, you'll have to approach this another way. The commander's testimony was a lot vaguer this time. If you can press his statements, you might be able to find new information that you could use against him.
So you know what time it is, buddy. It's time to grill him like a hamburger.
All right. Well, if you want to do that, you go right ahead. Cross-examination time.
Pressing statements. During cross-examinations, you can press statements to acquire more information. Sometimes pressing the right statement can make the witness add a statement to their testimony.
And as soon as you push press, you say, hold it.
Okay. It's true that
It's true that the sword itself isn't magical, but magic can still be channeled through it. That defendant over there, her spell companion has a spell called Mage Blade. She must have used it on her sword before stabbing the victim. That spell is the reason why there were traces of transmutation magic on the wound.
So I'm just going to go and press statement number 1. Hold it! Are you saying that my client used a spell and channeled it through her sword?
There are a vast number of spells that operate like that. Spells in the school of transmutation are almost always channeled through an object.
That defendant over there, her spell companion has a spell called Mage Blade.
Held it. Mage Blade?
It's a transmutation spell that sharpens my sword. I usually use it when I need to cut through an enemy's plate armor.
You didn't realize that she led such a lethal lifestyle.
But anyways, wouldn't it be excessive for the defendant to use a spell like that on the victim? He wasn't wearing any kind of armor at the time of death.
The victim and the defendant were in an intense argument. Perhaps she used the spell in the fit of rage. It was a crime of passion, after all.
That theory is a little far-fetched. But you'll need hard evidence if you want to disprove it. She must have used it on her sword before stabbing the victim.
Hold it. But why would she go to the trouble of doing that? Her sword alone would have been enough to commit the murder.
Mages are always looking for an excuse to throw their power around. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Duh! Isn't that just your own personal bias, Commander?
We don't need to understand why the defendant did what she did. The fact of the matter is that magic was present at the crime. Do you have any evidence of the contrary?
Duh!
You don't. Yet. That spell is the reason why there were traces of transmutation magic on the wound.
Hold it. If she used a spell like that, wouldn't that have created traces of magic on the ground? How so? Well, let's say we follow the prosecution's theory. That would mean that the victim fell to the ground with the sword still inside him. At this point, Mage Blade would still be active, right? It would definitely leave a magical trace on the ground after making physical contact with it.
We're already way ahead of you. We had our people scan the crime scene, and we found traces of transmutation magic right under the body, just like you said.
Oh.
If you still don't believe me, I have a picture of the crime scene right here.
Oh? Why was this picture not brought to my attention?
There was no need. This entire case is open and shut.
Crime scene picture has been added to the court record. A picture of Flintheart McCoy after he was murdered. Well, let's take a peek skis at that if we can. Ugh.
You've seen pictures of the dead before, but it feels different now that the body is of someone you knew.
So let's see here. To view it. Okay, so all right. So okay, so the claim is that there's transmutation magic on the ground after he was killed, right? So what traces would there be? I don't see it. I don't think that's right. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Looks like there are traces of magic on the ground. But this shape is a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was that just now? You can see it right in this photo. She had killed him with a stab from the front. From the front? Wait a minute, look at the evidence.
I don't think that's right.
The
If
autopsy
it was-
report says
It was stabbed from the front, but it looks like he was clearly. But he said he was clearly. But the autopsy report said he was stabbed from the behind, with a magical blade. So that's the contradiction. Present with this.
Objection!
Objection! I'm sorry, Commander White, but it seems that you've presented another glaring contradiction.
Oh, yeah? And what's that?
You said that my client stabbed the victim from the front. Am I correct?
Yeah, you can see it plain in that picture. So where's your contradiction?
That's the thing, Commander. Your picture clearly shows that the victim was stabbed from the front, but the autopsy report says that he died from a stab from behind.
What?
Objection!
Objection! Orem, you were supposed to release everything that you had. Why wasn't this photo given to me?
There was no need. There's no way it could have been anyone other than that damn mage. Murderers ringing across the gallery. It didn't matter how corrupt the justice system was. They wouldn't be able to cover up such blatant incompetence. You have them right where you want them.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Cuthbert, what is the meaning of this? I'll tell you what the meaning behind this is, Your Honor. As the autopsy report states, the victim died from a stab wound originating from his back. But this photo clearly shows that the sword entered from his front. This can only mean one thing. The sword was inserted into the wound after the fatal wound had already been created.
That's crazy. Do you honestly expect us to believe that?
Then please enlighten me, Commander White. How else would the sword be facing the opposite way? Do you think my client stabbed the victim with the hilt of her sword? I didn't think so. What really happened is clear. The real murderer stuck the sword through the victim's wound to implicate my client. But they made a careless mistake and stuck the sword through the opposite side.
Objection!
Objection! It appears that I underestimated you, Mr. Cuthbert. But you've still got ahead of yourself.
Really, Miss Steelwind? I believe that Mr. Cuthbert has adequately cast doubt on your case.
Oh, did he now? Let me ask you one question, Mr. Cuthbert. If your client didn't kill Flintheart McCoy, then who did?
How should I know? If I'm not mistaken, it's the commander's job to figure that out.
Oh, I'm well aware of the commander's incompetence. But one fact still stands. There was magic detected on the wound and the sword. Would you like for me to tell you how many mages live in that small town?
Dilo says that judge looks so soulless. Well, I mean, he's just an arbitrator, for crying out loud.
You don't like where she's going with this.
Just one. There's only one registered mage in that entire town. And that mage is your client!
What?
The defendant was also established to have been with the victim hours before his death. She was the last known person with him, and she was the only mage there. In addition to that, I have several witnesses who heard them arguing. she murdered the victim is simply an unanswered question.
I see. That certainly does change matters. I can't say that the prosecution's evidence is irrefutable, but there is still evidence that casts guilt upon the defendant.
Damn it. You almost had them.
There are far too many unanswered questions for me to pass a verdict. We will give law enforcement time to clear these unknowns. I suggest that they conduct their investigation more thoroughly this time. We will resume the trial tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned. Well, you bought yourself some time at least.
Hello, Cuthbert.
As you walk out of the courtroom with Celeste, you are greeted by Miss Tamora.
Miss Tamora, you're here?
You recall how you froze up during the first cross-examination. You feel a little ashamed that your mentor saw all of that.
Well, at the end of the day, you were able to pull it together. And once you did that, you performed adequately. On that note, I wanted to give you this.
Celeste's Spell Compendium, all right. It's Celeste McCoy's Spell Compendium. It contains the formula for the following spell, Mage Blade. And here's Mage Blade. School Transmutation, Incantation Arcane. Gesture none, duration 1 minute, concentration yes. For the duration of this spell, the edges of this object, usually a blade, become unnaturally sharp, making it more effective at slashing through material. While under the effects of this spell, the object emits a yellow radiant glow. The target object must be no larger than a 5-foot cube. Interesting. Anyway.
My spell compendium? I swiped it from the dining area before the Inquisition arrived. I thought it'd be best for you to have it.
So, this is your spell compendium, and it only has one spell.
Mage Blade.
This means that the prosecution has to prove that Celeste used that specific spell.
It will restrict how they approach this case, which gives you an edge over them. But that prosecutor is really something else.
You mean Prosecutor Steelwind?
You can still remember her ripping glare. It gives you chills just thinking about it.
You wouldn't even know it, but this was also her first trial. Really? I thought that her inexperience would make for a good first opponent. But that girl, she's a natural in the courtroom. It makes me wonder why a Steelwind would choose to become an attorney in the first place. What do you mean? Steelwinds are a powerful noble house. Of the noble families, they are one of the few who answer directly to the king. Most members of their house take high-ranking positions in the kingdom's military. So it's a bit strange that she chose to become a prosecutor despite that.
Steelwind. I feel like I've heard it somewhere before.
In any case, it's best that you focus on the trial. You have about a day until court resumes.
Right. Now that I have time, I'd like to ask you some questions, Celeste. Namely about that argument you had with your father.
You see the bailiffs staring daggers at Celeste. Staring daggers at Celeste. Looks like they're waiting to take her back to her cell. Whatever questions you have for her, we'll have to wait.
I should probably go.
Celeste walks away while avoiding eye contact with you. Bringing up her argument with Flintheart may have struck a nerve.
I'll also use this opportunity to investigate...
Hold on. Time out.
Sorry.
This is Tyrion talking.
Sorry.
I'll also use this opportunity to investigate the crime scene. I wouldn't be surprised if the Inquisition missed something.
You utterly embarrassed them today. Don't expect them to make the same mistake twice.
Right. There's still a lot of things we don't know about.
As much as I hate to admit it, your skills of deduction far surpass mine. If anyone can figure out what really happened that night, it's you.
Would you like to save your progress? Hell yes, we would.
Let's take a quick commercial break. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, he'll be back in a minute. So that means we will too. Going live again in 3, 2, 1. So yeah, this game is very fun so far. You know, the reviews are actually totally worth it. And still got about 20 minutes left. So let's keep going. So anyway.
And if you happen to be stuck, let me know and I'll guide you a little further.
Okay, because you watched this entire first case, I take it.
Not entirely, but I do have like a thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
live scene.
Okay, so you arrive back at the McCoy Tavern. Luckily for you, the Inquisition set up a teleportation circle for you to use.
Oh, how about that?
With that circle, you can magically teleport between the Capitol and the crime scene instantaneously. It's definitely miles better than having to travel by carriage. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Commander White takes notice of you as you enter the tavern. It looks like he's working with a team of knights to investigate the crime scene.
I'm the defense attorney in this case. I have just as much right to investigate this crime scene as you do.
Yeah, whatever. Just remember, I got my eye on you, kid.
Now, let's talk to him real quick. Questions.
Yeah, let's talk to him.
I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about the case.
As if I help the likes of you. I saw who your boss is, and I know what you're up to. That witch probably sent you here to con me.
What? I'm just looking for some information.
A likely story. He was cooperative before when he let you see Celeste. Why is he being so stubborn now? Is he angry that you embarrassed him in court today? In any case, you won't get anywhere at this rate. If you want his help, you'll need to persuade him through an argument.
Psychological profiles. It helps to prepare before starting an argument with someone. Talk to Orm or present items to him to build a psychological profile for him. If you successfully fill the profile gauge, you'll receive more information during arguments against him.
I'd investigate the crime scene a little
Well,
further.
yeah, of
Let's
course.
examine something.
Absolutely. So obviously you got to look at the body.
There's a chalk outline of a person on the ground of the tavern. This is probably where Flintheart died. The outline matches the picture that the Inquisition took. Nothing seems out of place here. What about what's next to that?
There's a broken bottle.
There's a broken bottle on the floor. It's shattered close to the chalk outline of the body.
The label has the words Lotus Juice on it.
I've never heard of that brand before. Must be foreign.
Shattered bottle of lotus juice. The shattered remains of a glass bottle. You found it next to Flintheart McCoy's body. The label says the words lotus juice. Interesting. What was he drinking that for? All right, let's see what else.
There's a lamp up there. Investigate that.
Well, there's lamps everywhere, but I mean, okay.
Yeah, just check one of them.
The Inquisition lit some candles, but there's a magical lamp right there. I wonder why they're not using those instead.
There's a modern-looking lamp mounted on the wall.
It's a lamp powered by artificery. I didn't expect to find something like this sophisticated in a town like this.
Artificery is just another form of magic.
Actually, artificery draws from surrounding ley lines to...
I didn't ask for a science lesson, kid. Anyways, look where Artificery got these folks. The arcane power cell broke, and they haven't had any power for weeks. Yep, nothing can beat good old oil and flame.
Broken power cell has been added to the court record. The McCoy Inn is outfitted with several lamps powered by artificery. However, the arcane power cell has been broken for weeks and the lamps can't be turned on, except they were turned on by that guy that we were talking about earlier. Was it Luxo or something? But anyway, we know. Anyway.
Not Luxo, yeah. You can talk to him now.
Okay. Well, what's this? I want to just take a quick look at this. Oh. It's a painting of a mage, and there's some text on it. Samala Daglane, a legendary practitioner of the arcane arts. He mysteriously disappeared one day. It's rumored that he was developing a formula for a new transmutation spell. However, he was reckless in casting the spell, and Daglane quickly lost control of its magic. His body was never found. Many speculate that he didn't actually die during the accident. But if that's true, where did he end up?
Sounds like a cautionary tale against using magic. That might explain why Flintheart keeps him in his tavern.
Interesting. What's this? It's a painting of a man in a suit. There's some text on it. Adam Everly, politician of the pedantic.
I've heard of this guy. He's some kind of politician from one of the nations west of here. I heard he's pretty much a shoo-in to win whatever election they have going there. An election? An election? Was Flintheart studying democracies for his little revolution?
Okay, well, let's go back and talk to him. Mages. Well, let's go to the Inquisition first. So, what does the Arcane Inquisition do exactly?
You trying to pick a fight with me?
No, I'm just genuinely curious.
Well, I'm sure you already know, but us Inquisitors investigate crimes that involve magic.
Do crimes like this happen often?
Nah, maybe once in a blue moon.
That's weird. Okay, anyway.
It makes sense. Most mages are in the nobility, after all. Even if they're untouchable, they don't make a habit of getting into trouble with the law.
You must have an easy job, then.
You got that right. The only reason we exist is to clean up the nobility's messes. He doesn't seem that happy about that.
Oh, okay. talk. Let's go to mages. Commander White, you seem to speak negatively about my client's magic. Do you have a personal grudge against mages?
You're damn right I do. Wow, you didn't even try to deny it. And if you had any sense, you would too. All a mage has to do is wave their hands and say some magic nonsense. Then you suddenly have a dead body on the ground. And don't get me started on mage blight. If some noble uses their magic too much, they ended up snapping and going on a rampage.
I don't know if this is going too far, but why join the Inquisition if you hate mages so much? Considering the fact that,
that my job is to sweep nobility's crimes under the rug?
Sorry, I didn't mean to insinuate.
Nope. You have the right of it. Anytime a noble is involved in a case, I'm ordered to look the other way.
You don't seem very happy to do that. Why would you stay in this line of work?
Because every once in a while, I'm allowed to put a criminal mage behind bars. We can't go after the nobles, but any other mage is fair game. Or at least, they were before your boss showed up. Your boss? Does he have something against Miss Tamora?
Interesting. Ruby Tamora. I have to ask, did something happen between you and Ms. Tamora?
Ms. Tamora? Ms. Tamora, what are you, her lackey or something?
No, actually, she's my guardian.
Oh, I didn't know she even had a... Look, kid, I don't know what the deal is between you two, but no good would ever come from associating with her.
This is about the rumors, isn't it?
Throughout the years, there have been several insidious rumors surrounding Miss Tamora. She's been accused of forgery, blackmail, and all manner of illegal activities. It's clearly misinformation spread by the nobility to discredit her. She's always been fine with it, but you can't help but get angry on her behalf. It's more than just rumors. I've seen it for myself. That woman is evil, kid.
She defends mages who don't have the protection of the nobility. She's not evil, she's a hero.
Yeah, whatever. Or my psychological profile is complete. Now it's time for an argument.
All right.
Commander White seems unusually hostile towards you. And you have a feeling it's not just because you embarrassed him in court today. If you can clear up this misunderstanding, you might be able to convince him to help you.
Start an argument. Let's get it going.
Argument.
All right, I'm just going to come out and say it. Do you have a problem with me, Commander White? Commander White is stubborn and stuck in his ways. He seems to have a grudge against Ruby Tamora and will react negatively if you try to defend her. However, he will respect you if you defend yourself against personal attacks. Okay.
You should know exactly what my problem is with you. I saw who you work for. Do I have to spell it out for you? Ruby Tamora is a crooked lawyer. Or does your boss not tell you what she gets up to?
Elocutions and arguments. Arguments are not always fought using hard evidence. Sometimes you need to elocute to convince your opponent that their claim is wrong. When prompted for an elocution, choose from one of the three possible responses. The correct response can be gleaned from reading your opponent's psychological profile. So, defend.
I would say deflect.
You have no right to throw baseless accusations against me or Miss Tamora. You have no right to throw baseless accusations against me or Miss Tamora. Whatever you think she's done, you're wrong.
You're either a good liar or you really are that naive. That woman's hands are dirty, and nothing you say will change my mind. Oops.
I feel as though that wasn't the right...
You feel as though that wasn't the right way to respond to his claim.
Okay, he seems to have a grudge and will react negatively if you try to defend her. If you defend yourself against personal attacks. Okay.
Remember, you can read Orm's psychological profile to determine the best way to respond to his claim.
All right. Let's see. Stuck in his ways. Regardless of what Tamura's done, I'm the one heading this case. Let's try it. Regardless of what Ms. Tamura's done, I'm the one heading this case.
Oh.
Whatever problems you have with her, they have nothing to do with me.
That still doesn't change the fact that you work for her. I've seen that woman do all kinds of shady shit in the cases I've worked. Swear to God.
That's okay.
Forgery, bribery, blackmail, you name it. You're just another crook. I bet you're just the same. A success for the devil of defense attorneys.
Okay, now this time I'm gonna defend. I'm not Ruby Tamura. It doesn't matter if the rumors are true or not. Regardless of what you've seen her do, I'm going to run an honest case.
Look, kid, I like nothing more than to believe you. But after everything I've seen her do, I know better. I have no reason to trust you. Anyone taught by that woman can't be anything more than a crook.
All right, Commander White is stubborn and stuck in his ways. Okay, let's see. Nothing that I've done has given you any reason to suspect me. Nothing that I've done has given you any reason to suspect me. Right now, I'm just a defense attorney that's asking you for information. Nothing that I've done has given you any reason to suspect me. Argument 1. Checkmate,
Yay.
bitch.
You just want some info, right?
Yes, that's all I'm asking for.
All right, I'll answer your questions. Just don't make me regret this. You've successfully persuaded Orm White.
Let's talk to him. The murder weapon. This probably goes without saying, but I don't believe that the sword is the murder weapon.
Right. I guess you have to prove that someone else put the sword there.
Did the Inquisition find anything suspicious on the scene?
If you're asking if we found another bloody weapon lying around, we definitely didn't. That would be a little too convenient, wouldn't it? But let's say that the girl really is being framed. If there was another murder weapon, the killer probably walked out with it.
Do you think they could have hidden it somewhere in the tavern?
Doubt it. After the trial, Steelwind turned the place upside down and scanned it with her magic. If someone did hide a murder weapon here, they hid it well. Or they hid it in plain sight.
Oh, his bottle, perhaps. Anyway, let's talk. Orm's mistake. I can't believe you made such an obvious mistake during your investigation.
Oh, shut it with that. I already got an earful from Steelwind about that mess. Well, you don't have to worry about me mucking things up. Steelwind's basically taken over the entire investigation.
Wait, does she have the authority to do that?
Normally she wouldn't, but I know better than to go against orders from a noble. Right, there's definitely a strange power dynamic between them. But honestly, that girl sweats the details too much. She even had my men draw up a scaled map of the crime scene.
Oh, that might be helpful. Wait, really? Do you have a copy?
Sure, knock yourself out. Don't know how much good it'll do you.
Crime scene map, McCoy Tavern, a geometrically scaled map of the crime scene has been added to the court record. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Boof. So there's a compendium, there's a map. Let's view it. So here's the crime scene, right? So if he... Okay. Okay.
Spells, profiles,
Okay, let's keep going. So let's keep talking to him. Arya Steelwind. I heard that this was Professor Steelwind. I heard that this was Prosecutor Steelwind's first trial. She must be pretty talented if that's true.
Pain in my ass is what she is. That damn noble comes in here telling me how to do my job. I honestly have no idea what she's even doing in this line of work.
I heard that she's from a renowned noble house. She must be a pretty powerful mage.
Ha! Powerful is an understatement. The steel ones who came before her could turn this entire town into a glass crater. What? There's no way that's true, right? You think you found everything that you can here. But what does it all mean? There's no murder weapon to be found. And there's no obvious evidence of another person at the scene. Hey, you okay? You got quiet all of a sudden. All right, just focus. Close your eyes and let everything else disappear from the world. Hey, you listening?
So, there's no clear evidence pointing to another killer. There is, however, evidence pointing to how Flintheart moved before his death.
What?
What can we tell about how Flintheart died? There's no blood trail leading to or from the body. What does this imply about the location of Flintheart's death? Okay. Flintheart didn't move after the murder.
Close.
Let's see. That's what we know right now. But let's see. Celeste, the killer, Flintheart, the killer, attacked Flintheart during the murder. Well, of course.
I don't think so.
So, okay, tell me if I'm getting close. Flintheart. Okay, so Flintheart didn't move during the murder.
I think that's it.
Flintheart died where he was attacked. He didn't move from his position at all.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
There's also the autopsy report, which says that he died from a stab from behind. He was probably caught off guard and was too incapacitated to move anywhere else. This means that the attack happened at the exact position he fell over. A geometrically scaled map of the crime scene is what's been updated. There's also the shattered bottle of lotus juice. How did the bottle shatter? I doubt it means anything, but the shattered bottle is right next to the body. Flintheart dropped the bottle after the attack. No,
close.
during the attack. Well, of
Yes.
course, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Flintheart dropped the bottle when he was attacked. From that, we can infer that he was holding it the moment before he was attacked, and the cutscene proves it. So we got it there. The shatter remains. Okay, the shattered bottle of lotus juice has been updated in your notes.
What's so strange about one bottle, though?
It may seem like an insignificant detail, but that detail could help me infer other elements of what happened during the murder.
Right.
There's also the fact that the artificial lights were out. Were these candles here when you arrived at the crime scene? Were these candles here when you arrived at the crime scene, Orim?
No. We had to light some so we could see the crime scene properly. We thought it was weird, too. The girl and her father must have had their argument in pitch black darkness.
What can we infer about the state of the crime scene? So, they didn't light any candles to make up for the broken lights. The crime scene had no lighting before the murder.
Getting close.
Is that true, or no, hang on? The crime scene had no witnesses before the murder. Hot or cold?
Cold.
All right. So, okay, in the basement.
Warm.
The basement? No. The crime scene.
Hot.
Okay, had no witnesses.
Warm.
Had no customers.
Warm.
Had no lighting.
Hot.
The crime scene had no lighting. during the murder.
Bingo.
Okay, interesting. The crime scene had no lighting during the murder. Right, the broken power cell. Okay, right, I get it. So the arcane power cell's been broken for weeks and the lamps can't be turned on. This means that the lights were not operational during the murder. The argument that Celeste had with Flintheart must have been spontaneous. They weren't planning to have a conversation in this room. In this darkness, Flintheart wouldn't have a lot of visibility. If he was stabbed from behind, he probably didn't see it coming. He was clearly surprised and was probably in too much shock to run away. Also, the bottle may seem insignificant, but he was holding it when he was attacked. Maybe he was pouring a drink for himself, or maybe it was for a visitor. Either way, the assailant must have been unseen by Flintheart.
Kid?
Or the assailant attacked him from his blind spot while his back was turned. Why would his back be turned, though? Was he distracted by something?
Kid.
What?
What was that all about?
Sorry, sometimes I just get lost in my own thoughts.
Yeah, well, cut it out. You're freaking me out.
Right.
Anyways, you think you found everything you can here. You should move somewhere else.
Okay, well, let's move then.
Let's move.
There's the courthouse, there's barracks, the McCoy Tavern upstairs. What?
I'd say we go upstairs.
Okay.
If people keep seeing you here, they're going to start asking questions. Leave the investigation to me. All you have to do is stay quiet until the trial is over.
While heading upstairs, you spot the prosecutor having a conversation with someone. They seem to be in some kind of argument.
Enough. I will do as I see fit. You may be a Steelwind, but this is my land. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're the defense attorney from the trial. I am. I'm sorry, but who? How rude of me. My name is Lord Garrick Pierce, the ruling noble of this land. Name Garrick Pierce, occupation nobleman. As the ruling noble, I suppose I should thank you for playing your role in the current trial. As misguided as it may be. I suppose that you also think my client is guilty. It does not matter what I think. This entire scandal has done nothing but rile up the common folk. Magic is a gift for the nobility, and the nobility alone. It is a symbol of the aristocracy and our divine right to rule. And now that bastard child has tainted that symbol in the public eye. All of that has nothing to do with her. She's just an innocent woman who got wrapped up in all of this. Even if she is innocent, the charges have been laid and made public. Someone must take the fall, lest the public accuse the justice system of corruption. So you're saying that she should be found guilty even if she's innocent? What do you suppose will happen if she's acquitted? All the public will see is a mage going free despite a myriad of evidence. That alone would be enough to cause public outrage. Tensions between the aristocracy and the common folk are high enough as it is. What is one insignificant girl when compared to the stability of our great kingdom? That's
enough. Stop antagonizing him, Pierce. I can't refute what he said, but I don't agree with it.
what?
The system should be based on truth and justice, not on public opinion.
Then why are you working against my client? Do you honestly think she's the kind of person that would kill her father?
It doesn't matter what kind of person she appears to be. The evidence clearly points to her as the only possible killer. But you should fight according to your own ideals. Just as I will fight for mine.
It's hard to get a read on that woman. Okay, now we're gonna move to the barracks.
Yep, back to the detention center. Da-da-da-da-da-da! Charge!
You return to the cell that Celeste is being kept in. You ambient despair in the air fills your mind like a horrendous stench. You do your best to ignore the emotions of the other prisoners, but you haven't had much practice blocking out this many people. As you arrive, you see Celeste huddled down in the corner. As soon as she sees you, her dour mood seems to lift, if only for a moment.
Oh, hi, Mr. Cuthbert.
There's no need to address me so formally. Just call me Tyrion.
Okay.
Anyways, I came here to ask you some questions about the case.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk to her.
I'm sorry for freezing up like that. I almost lost us the trial.
No, there's no need to apologize. You did great.
But it was only thanks to her. If she hadn't calmed you down, who knows what would have happened.
But I still don't understand, though. Why were there traces of magic on my dad's body?
Right, those traces of magic were on the sword and the body. Magical traces are particles of magical residue that are left behind when a mage casts a spell. They only linger around for 48 hours, and that gives you a rough timeline of when and where a spell is cast.
Did you cast Mage Blade on your sword that day?
I did. I usually cast it when I train in the morning.
That explains why there is a trace on the sword, at least.
Did the trace on my sword leave the magical trace on my dad's body?
No, magical traces can't be moved around physically. For a spell to leave a trace, it has to be active when physical contact is made.
Really? What does that mean, then?
Whatever killed your father had a transmutation spell active on it at the time. The magical trace on your sword was just an unlucky coincidence.
I can't believe this.
Let her quiet.
Could you tell me more about your father? Sorry, I know this must be difficult after everything that's happened.
No, it's okay. If it helps you, I'll try my best to answer your questions.
Were you two close?
We were. I'm sure you know this by now, but I was adopted by him and my mom. But even though I didn't have their blood, they treated me as if I did. He loved me with all his heart until...
Until? Until what?
Yeah, can you tell me more about that?
Does this have something to do with the argument that they had?
I bet you that it's probably because of the transmutation spell you discovered. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with that? So, okay, let's get to the pink meat here. I'm sorry to say this, but I could hear your argument from my room that night. Could you tell me about what happened?
For as long as I can remember, my dad has hated mages. I'm not sure why, but if you even mention magic around him, he'd fly into a rage. So I hid my magic from my family.
But why even learn magic in the first place? If you really wanted to, you could have gone your whole life without using it.
Ever since our tavern closed, my family's been in a lot of debt. I decided to become a mercenary and use magic to enhance my ability to fight. Most mages are in the nobility, so people will pay a lot for a sellsword who can use magic.
That's why. So that's why she's a mercenary.
Interesting. Celeste McCoy learned magic so she could support her family as a mercenary. Apparently, many people will pay extra for a mercenary that can use magic. Interesting.
But I know now. Learning magic was the biggest mistake I've ever made. On that night, my dad found my spell compendium. When he confronted me about it, I finally came clean to him. That's when he flew into another one of his rages. He shouted at me. He told me that I betrayed him and his family.
I'm so sorry. I can't imagine how that must have felt.
I deserved every bit of it. I knew how much he hated magic, but I learned to use it anyways. He showed me so much love and I just threw it all away.
Don't say that. I'm sure he still loved you.
No, I could see it in his eyes. He hated me, and he died hating me.
You feel a sharp pain in your chest as you see that thought.
Yikes. Well, locked door. So, there's a locked room in the tavern. It's at the very end of the hallway upstairs. The Inquisition probably searched it already, but I just wanted to investigate it to make sure.
A locked room at the end of the hallway? I think that's my room.
Do you know how I could get in there? It's the only room in the tavern that I haven't investigated.
You feel a suspicious gaze from Celeste.
What's that look for? I'm your lawyer. I'm not gonna do anything weird.
Sorry, you're right. Here, you can use this key to get inside.
Celeste's bedroom key. The key to Celeste McCoy's bedroom in the McCoy Tavern has been added to the court record. Alright, let's see here. I guess, well, I got an idea. We're gonna move back to, we're going into Celeste's bedroom.
Yeah,
Yikes.
good idea. Let's go. Yeah, let's go investigate that. You use the key to enter Celeste's room. However, you're startled when you notice that someone else is already inside.
Uh-oh.
I've already told you, Knight's everything that I know. What more do you? Oh, aren't you Celeste's attorney?
I am. Who are you?
Oh, how rude of me. I'm Jolene McCoy. I'm Celeste's mother.
Name, Jolene McCoy. Occupation, unemployed.
I'm sorry, I gotta get this off my chest. That is one hot-looking mama.
And she's got to get something off her chest, too. Phrasing. Not bad looking for 46. Anyway.
No, not bad at all. I was at the trial this morning. I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for my daughter. So this is Celeste's mother. She might be able to tell you more about Flintheart.
About that, do you mind if I ask you some questions for my investigation?
Of course. I'll do anything I can to help.
Talk Flintheart. Can you tell me why your husband hated mages so much? I understand that most people dislike the nobility and associate magic with them. But on that night, it's like he was furious at Celeste specifically because she was a mage.
Oh, you must have talked to Celeste. I wasn't there when the argument happened, but I can only imagine what he said to her.
Do you know what happened to him? Why does he hate magic so much?
Celeste doesn't know about this, but years ago, Flintheart had a sister named Effie. When I was a child, we were friends with a boy named Garrick Pierce.
Oh, interesting.
He was the son of the ruling noble at the time. Garrick Pierce? Isn't that the nobleman that was speaking with Steelwind earlier? We were all inseparable at the time. He'd always sneak into town to play with us against his family's wishes.
They probably weren't too happy about that.
He was quite rebellious back then. But he's a completely different person now.
Yeah, no shit.
But everything changed when Garrick began learning how to use magic. One day, when we were playing together, he wanted to show off the spells he learned. He was told not to use his magic without his instructor there, but he was just too excited. He began casting his spells, but something went horribly wrong. He lost control of his magic and fatally wounded Effie.
Hey, wait a minute. There's a painting in that room, so I wonder if that's what that's about. Oh, man, that sucks.
We tried bringing her back into town, but by that time, it was too late. She was already gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been traumatizing for all of you.
The next day, the Arcane Inquisition came to investigate what happened. House Pierce used the connections to cover up what happened. They even threatened Flintheart's family into keeping quiet. After that, the official story was that Effie had been mauled by a wolf. That's not surprising. Nobility seldom takes responsibility for their actions, even for a mistake like that.
Flintheart's sister died during an accident involving Garrick Pierce and his magic. Ever since then, he has hated magic and the mages who wield them.
Something changed in Flintheart after that. He began speaking out against the nobility. Eventually, he started hosting rallies in this very tavern. Each night, more and more people began listening to his words and joining his cause. The number of people that he'd gotten under his banner was terrifying. There was even talk of an outright revolution against the kingdom. That might explain why someone would go out of their way to kill him. I knew how much danger he was putting himself in. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't convince him to stop. His attitude didn't even begin to change until we adopted Celeste.
Speaking of which, talk to her about that. Can you tell me more about Celeste? How did she become a part of your family?
It all happened many years ago, back when the McCoy Tower was still open. We were closing one night when we found a baby with white hair abandoned in the dining area. We waited weeks for her parents to come by, but no one ever came looking for her.
And that baby was Celeste?
Yes, Flintheart and I had always wanted a child. I thought that Celeste must have been a gift from the Scaled Lord. But one day I saw Celeste practicing her magic. I think that's when I realized that someone from the nobility must have abandoned her at our inn. I didn't care though. I loved her all the same. I'm sure Flintheart did too.
Wait, you knew that she was a mage all this time?
I did. Garrett's known her very long, but she's a terrible liar. Flintheart must have noticed too, but I think that he didn't want to believe it. It's my fault. I should have forced him to see the truth.
Flintheart and Celeste. I spoke with Celeste earlier. She thinks that her father hated her because she was a mage.
There's no way he would ever feel that way. He loved her more than anything in the world. No matter what he said to her that night, nothing would ever change that. After seeing them together, you figure as much. Celeste was a world to him. When we adopted her, it was the first time in decades I'd see him so genuinely happy.
They must have been really close.
More than anything. Do you want to hear a story? Celeste had just returned from her travels. She wouldn't stop talking about this foreign drink that she loved. I think it was called lotus juice or something strange like that.
Which is why he was holding the bottle.
Well, Flintheart did everything he could to have it shipped here. He called in a bunch of favors for some of his revolutionary friends. But in the end, he was only able to get a single bottle of it.
Oh my gosh. Is it really that rare?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if it were the only bottle of lotus juice in the region. Wait a minute. Lotus juice?
Is this the bottle that Flintheart bought?
You show her a picture of the shattered bottle that you found next to Flintheart's body. It is! Oh no! He was going to surprise her with it.
I found the broken pieces next to Flintheart's. Well, I found them in the dining area.
That's strange. only been keeping it in our rooms so she wouldn't find it.
Really? When was the last time you saw it?
Right before I left the house that night. It was right before their big argument. So it wasn't just laying around the bar. He decided to retrieve it after the argument.
Oh.
Shattered bottle of Lotus juice has been updated in your court record.
The shattered remains of a glass bottle. Flintheart McCoy was holding his bottle and dropped it during the murder. It contained Celeste's favorite drink, lotus juice.
All right, you think you've investigated everything you can for now. But there's still one last thing you need to do. You ready yourself for one last conversation with Celeste.
Oh boy. Well, let's look at this picture. It's a painting of a woman with some sort of aquatic animal.
Oh, I love that painting. Oh, I love that painting. Celeste brought it back from her travels. Supposedly, that woman's named Madeline Kipling. From what I've heard, she runs a wildlife sanctuary for endangered species. I think the animal in this painting is called a fake hip. Celeste told me that she really likes them. That's interesting. You weren't aware that these kinds of creatures even existed.
Okay, let's move back to the barracks.
Oh, you're back. Did you forget something?
Actually, there's one last thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh?
Earlier, you said something that I just can't let go. You said that your father died hating you. But after everything I've heard about him, I don't think that's true. Your father loved you, Celeste, even in his final moments. Desperately want to reach her.
She keeps desperately wanting to reach her. If she keeps believing that he hated her, that thought will lead away at her for the rest of her life. You know that better than anyone.
He's just trying to make me feel better.
But it looks like it won't be that simple. You'll need to win an argument against her if you want her to see the truth. All right, time to talk.
Why don't I just present her with the bottle of lotus juice?
Okay, try that. You probably shouldn't show this to her. She's already been through enough. You shouldn't remind her about her father's death unnecessarily.
In that case, let's talk to her about it. Celeste's closure.
Celeste believes that her father died hating her. But after seeing them together and learning about them, you know that can't possibly be true. You just need to convince her of that.
Let's try it.
Argument.
I know you're just trying to make me feel better, and I really do appreciate it. But everyone knows that my father hated mages. He's always hated magic. There's no reason behind it.
So what?
Testimony. Flintheart's sister died during an accident involving Garrett Pearson's magic. Ever since then, he has hated magic and the mages who wield them. Take that.
I don't know if it's my place to say this, but there's a reason why your father hated magic so much.
What?
When Flintheart was a child, he had a sister. She was tragically killed by a mage decades ago. That's why he had such an immense hatred for magic.
I never knew. But that doesn't change anything. That's all the more reason for him to have hated me. It was selfish of me to learn magic. I knew how much he hated magic, but I still learned to use it anyways. Magic killed someone that he loved. No wonder he was furious.
Let's see here. Let's see. Well, what else is there?
Check her occupation. Let me read about her occupation for a minute. It says that Celeste McCoy learned magic so she could support her family as a mercenary. Apparently, many people will pay extra for a mercenary that can use magic. Take that.
But you didn't learn magic to benefit yourself, did you? You learned it to save your family after your tavern was shut down.
That's...
You're a good person, Celeste. You did everything you could to help your family. I'm sure your father recognized that.
Just shut up.
What?
Shut up. Just stop it.
Whatever composure she had before is slowly breaking down.
You weren't there. You didn't hear what he said to me. In his final moments, he could only think of how I betrayed him. I could see it in his eyes. There's no way he would ever forgive me.
Think about...
I think this might be it.
Shattered remains of a glass bottle. Flintheart McCoy was holding this bottle and dropped it during a murder. It contained Celeste's favorite drink, lotus juice. Take that.
Take a look at this picture, Celeste.
What? A shattered bottle? Wait. Is that a bottle of lotus juice?
Do you know where I found this? On the floor of your family's inn.
What? That can't be true. I tried to find it here, but no one sells it in Wyverngarde.
Your father knew how much you loved this drink. He called in quite a few favors just so he could have it imported for you.
What? He did that?
Your father didn't hate you, Celeste. He loved you more than anything.
That doesn't change anything. If he did that all for me, it was before he knew about my secret. I'm sure he never would have done that if he knew the truth.
That's not true at all.
What the hell would you know about him? You barely even knew him. How could you possibly know how he felt about me? Don't you think I want to believe that he still loved me before he died? But I know the truth. There's no way he would ever forgive me for what he did, for what I did.
It's not just the fact that he bought that drink for you. It's also where the bottle was when it shattered.
What do you mean?
Your mother said that the bottle was stowed in her room before your argument. But I found the shattered bottle in the lobby, where his body was. I ran into him before I went to look for you. He was going upstairs to his room. That can only mean one thing. He went to retrieve the bottle after your argument ended.
What? Why would he have it?
It's because he was going to give it to you, Celeste. He was going to give you a gift to apologize for what he said to you.
He was going to apologize?
Your father loved you, Celeste. And as tragic as it is, he was going to try to apologize to you before he was murdered. I don't like this. My daughter, working as a mercenary of all things.
Come on, Dad. You know I can handle myself.
I don't doubt it, but you still shouldn't have to risk your neck for our sakes.
They close the inn, Dad. We won't be able to survive unless I do this.
Nah, just be careful, okay? I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you. No matter what anyone says, you're our daughter. We'll love you until the day we die.
Dad, how could I ever think that? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Dad!
Celeste had barely been keeping it together throughout the whole argument, but a realization is finally causing her to break down. She begins crying loudly as she quickly embraces you. In this cold, dark place, she probably hadn't felt warmth of any kind for days. You're caught off guard and feel a little embarrassed, but you comfort her while she vents her emotions.
I'll just keep going. Argument 1. Wow. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I think I'm okay now. I've been thinking such horrible things this entire time.
She looks at you and gives you a warm smile. It's probably the first time you've seen her genuinely smile since this whole ordeal started.
Thank you. But is everything really going to be okay?
I'll make sure of it. I'll get justice for you and your father. It doesn't matter who stands in my way, even if they're a man, king, or god.
You're completely different now. What happened to the nervous wreck from before?
Please forget about that. Anyways, take some time to rest. The trial is going to resume soon.
With that, you've done everything you can for now. You've learned a lot about what happened the night of the murder. You just hope it's enough. But even with your investigation, you still don't know what the prosecution has planned.
Has Pierce told you all the details, Mr. Rudolph? Will you remember them?
Yes, I pride myself in my eidetic memory.
Just so there are no misunderstandings. I do not approve of this.
You said it yourself, Lady Steelwind. There's no possible way that I could have done the deed. It has to be the bastard child. We don't know what sort of tricks Ruby Tamora might pull tomorrow. Just see this as a way of securing a just verdict. Would you like to save your progress? Hell yes, we would. Because you never know. So, okay, at this point, yeah, we're way over 2.5 hours. So I want to try to see if we can get out of this thing. I want to back out. Hang on 1 second. So let us... Okay, what... Return to the title screen. You will lose unsaved progress. Yes. So anyway... Well... Yep, it is absolute proof then that we are definitely on to something.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So tune in next week to see if we get to the truth. And I'm just hoping that there's some sort of deeper connected story that kind of like ties all this crap together. But I'll tell you what, it's pretty fun. So, all right.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
Okay, so until next time, kids. I'm the Cannonball Alex Steele.
I am the Package Andrew Steele.
We are the Steele Brothers, and we are for real. Top guys out. Ciao.
Adios, muchacho.